evacuate immediately. Take the Colusa Highway to the west or the Chico Highway to the north. Warn your next door neighbor, then leave immediately.
The levee is breaking. Everybody evacuate immediately. Take the Colusa Highway to the west or the Chico Highway to the north.
It's time for Friday Forum. I'm Colin Steiner. It's been a slow start to this year's rainy season, but many Northern Californians can recall how heavy rains will disrupt life in our often sunny region. 2 years after Hurricane Katrina and the devastating floods in New Orleans, FEMA's taken a fresh look at levees across the country to newly evaluate them and designate flood hazard areas. At the request of the California Department of Water Resources, FEMA's using Sutter County as an early case study. What they found is that much of the 240 miles of levees in Sutter County aren't providing adequate 100-year flood protection. This means that nearly 1/3 of Sutter County is being remapped into what's called a special flood hazard area, impacting FEMA's flood insurance rate maps. Dan Peterson, Chief of Water Resources in Sutter County, explains.
Now, this is going to have two different effects. The first effect is that properties that will fall within a special flood hazard area and that have a federally backed mortgage will be required to purchase flood insurance by the lenders. That's going to affect somewhere around 2,000 different properties in Sutter County. The second effect that this will have is, once again, in these areas that are being mapped as special flood hazard areas, any new structures or structures that undergo substantial improvement have to be constructed in accordance with special construction standards, once again set by FEMA. So what we're encouraging the citizens of Sutter County to do, number one, find out if their property is being remapped into one of these special flood hazard areas. And if so, we strongly encourage the property owner to purchase flood insurance now. The benefit of that is, if you purchase your flood insurance before December 2nd, your property can be grandfathered into the National Flood Insurance Program. And by being grandfathered into the program, those properties enjoy significant savings on future insurance rates. We use a typical house as an example. If the structure value is $250,000, and then the owner also insures the contents up to $100,000, there's 3 different rate structures for a property. If it's not in a special flood hazard area, such as most of Sutter County right now, the insurance rate's only $348 a year. If that structure is remapped into a special flood hazard area, which is happening to over 2,000 properties in Sutter County, they're either going to fall into the moderate risk category or the high risk category. The moderate risk is if you get grandfathered in. Then your annual insurance policy is going to cost you around $1,385 per year. If you do not get grandfathered in, you jump all the way up to $2,766 per year for insurance. So if you can get grandfathered in simply by buying your flood insurance before December 2nd, you save nearly 50%, or somewhere around $1,300 per year, just by virtue of buying your flood insurance now. And that carries on not only as long as you own your house, but it even transfers with the house in the event that you sell your house. So that's the big message that we're trying to get out to people right now. And I have been begged by the insurance agencies around here not to wait to the last minute, because there's only a limited number of insurance agents and something like 2,000 properties that could be affected. The other message that I would like to reach out to the citizens of Sutter County is that the county has been very aggressively trying to address flood control. The county is participating and is actually the founding member of the Sutter Butte Flood Control Agency in conjunction with Butte County, where the 2 counties plus the city of Live Oak and the city of Yuba City are pooling together their resources to try to address flood control on a regional basis. Another thing that Sutter County is doing is pursuing what is known as a feasibility study with the California Department of Water Resources and the Army Corps of Engineers, trying to come up with a overall plan to provide or to restore 100-year flood protection within Sutter County. Now, this feasibility study is well underway. They are at the point where they are identifying the different alternatives where they can do a project here or a project there. Once again, with 240 miles of levees, they're not going to rebuild all of them. They're going to only look at the points where there may be some vulnerability. And after they get done with the feasibility study and they identify all of the different projects that need to take place to restore flood protection, then they move on to the next phase, which is putting together the financing so that they can actually get these projects underway. So Sutter County is not just sitting back. We're being very aggressive in trying to get the levees back up to where they are considered as providing 100-year flood protection. But my main goal right now is to make sure that the citizens all understand if you live in the southern portion of Sutter County, you should be purchasing flood insurance now. Get grandfathered in, save that $1,300 per year.
Of the 1/3 of Sutter County remapped in the last year, almost all was designated to be inside what's called a flood hazard area. The remaining 2/3 of Sutter County will soon be remapped as well. The results are expected to be about the same, which means rates are likely to go up for the rest of the county sometime in the next 2 years. And it looks like Butte County's next. FEMA will be looking closely at 42 miles of levees, particularly north of Chico along Mud and Sycamore Creeks, and along the Feather River in the Biggs and Gridley areas. Thanks for joining me on Friday Forum. I'm intern Colin Steiner.